Hey guys, Source here again, back with another exercise bike musing. What's the deal with episode? Last time I talked about Shrek quite a lot, probably more than people wanted to hear, but yeah, I couldn't. After I finished filming that episode, I thought a bit more about Shrek. I kind of wish I'd left the camera rolling because I actually had a lot more I wanted to say. So I guess this is kind of going to be a part 2 to that video. Like, what's the deal with Shrek again? And bear in mind that I've only seen the first 2 Shrek films, so if I say anything that gets sort of cleared up in the third and fourth installments or any of the spin-offs, well, not any of the spin-offs because I've seen Scared Shrekless and the Christmas one, can't remember, Shrek the Halls, that's the one. So yeah, if I say anything that sort of gets addressed in those films, then I apologise, but I haven't seen them, so you know, feel free to ignore anything that I say that, yeah, gets addressed in those. But I guess the first thing I thought about was his accent. Shrek has quite a thick Scottish accent, and I mean, it kind of makes sense for his character because he's got this whole sort of Celtic thing going on. But everyone around him in the sort of fairy tale land that I guess they're living in has like either sort of American or British accents. It's I guess the 3 Little Pigs had like a German accent, but they seem like much more sociable creatures, so it made sense for them to sort of emigrate. But Shrek, it's not so much living in a foreign country that I find hard to believe, because as I understand it, from what I've heard of the Shrek films that came after the first 2, he sort of didn't fit in with his other sort of green mates. I think he was like too small or something, or not Shrek enough, so he was sort of the scapegoat of their community. But yeah, I can understand him moving somewhere else to get away from them and sort of live in maybe he heard that the kingdom had a particularly good swamp he wanted to sort of check out, or he inherited it from a family member, and it was a bit of sort of prime real estate for the Shrek types. But it's more, how did he get there? Because to go from Scotland to wherever he ended up, is it far away, or is that the kingdom that Farquhar? I don't really know. I don't know enough about the lore, I'm afraid. But he must have moved at some point, and I can't see it. Did he fly? Because can you imagine Shrek going to an airport? Sort of stuffed into a cabin with lots of other people. I mean, for a start, he'd have to buy 2 seats probably. It wouldn't fit. And yeah, I feel like business class or economy would be a nightmare for Shrek. He'd for sure have to go in first class, and he doesn't strike me as the type to sort of have earned that amount of money. Unless he intimidated them into giving him sort of a first class seat, or I don't know. I'm really not sure. It's yeah, I feel like that's just some kind of a plot hole that they overlooked, really. And I mean, I guess he could have got a boat. Maybe he ferried his way over, but yeah, I don't know. I think I just would have preferred it if they'd explained how he got there, rather than sort of just left it for us to figure out. But I mean, again, this might have been addressed at some point. I don't know. I guess the other thing as well is his clothes that he wears. Are we supposed to believe that either he stole them from like a normal person, because he's like this big scary man that they all sort of have pitchforks and torches and go after him and stuff. Like, he's almost like a monster in the eyes of the public in the first film. So we meant to believe that he stole them, because I don't see how we could find another human being that wore the same size clothes as him. Like, even a large human being. Really, they didn't really come close to the size of Shrek, and I feel like if they did, he'd have a harder time nicking the clothes off them, because then they'd be able to sort of fend for themselves and fight him off. So I guess that means the other option is either he was sort of cordial enough to sort of ask a tailor to do it, which I can't imagine happening. He seems more like, well, he's very unfriendly at that point, and can't imagine him strolling up to a tailor's and being like, oh, can you make me this? Yeah, let me check your measurements, mate. What side your dress on? That kind of thing. So, I don't know, I guess the only other option is that he made them himself, but I don't think at any point Shrek is demonstrated to have any sort of textile abilities, or I mean, he's not particularly dexterous. He's got these big sort of fat fingers. He's kind of clumsy, so I can't imagine he made them himself either. So I mean, it would have made more sense really to have him walking around naked for the first film, because at that point he couldn't ask anyone to sort of make clothes for him. Maybe later on, when he's sort of more like friendly, it would have made sense, but yeah, does it make sense to you guys? It doesn't make sense to me. God, there's so many other things I want to talk about, but this episode's getting a bit off track, I guess, and maybe I'll save it for another one. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say for the time being about Shrek again, but I'm sure once I've stopped rolling the camera, I'll think of something else, and yeah, I'll keep you updated. But let me know what you think about the whole Shrek situation in the comments. Yeah.